Okay, let's try this again, guys. Hopefully it's working now. I do apologize. OBS didn't update and everything was working yesterday and it wasn't working today. So hopefully you guys can hear me now. Please let me know if you're here, if you bared with me through that. Yay! OBS did an update and it really messed something up. I had to go in and re-allow everything in my Mac for it. It turned some things off it shouldn't have turned off. So, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm working on a couple of things still to get it going. If it goes out, if the sound goes out, you guys please let me know. I know how to fix it immediately now, so I do apologize. Okay, let's go over to and get things started. Let's go over to the camera. Okay, a couple of things. We are going to learn to put together the Easter card, which is a shaped edge card, and the box. I wanted to review a couple of things with you guys, and if you're watching it on playback, you'll see. The first thing that you're going to have to do to make this box is pick up a couple of things. Let me switch over to Design Space. On the site craftingwithapril.co for patrons, in the design tab, the card is here. Here's the file. Everything is Design Space, so no issue. You'll be able to get the tutorial here too. And for the box, down here on this box, I used the dimensional because I really liked this bag that SVG did, but I wanted a box. So I wanted to use that cross. You can get it. It's $2.49. All you need is the one piece out of it, but you'll have the whole bag. It's not a large cost. If you don't want it, I do have one set up right here. And really all you need from this SVG that I did are the panels, the pieces. You don't need the box lid and bottom. I put those in there, but you have to add the score lines back to them, and I didn't put them in the file because really there's no need. All you need to do is open up this file, and once you have it open, hit upload and upload those panels into here and get rid of the box top and bottom, and you'll know because they're the pieces are black. You can and white. You can just toss them out, or gray, black and gray. And then all you want to do, if you're not doing the dimensional cross, this one has the, just like all the other personalized boxes, the acetate that goes in. So this one is set up for that. If you are going to use the dimensional, you upload it in. You're going to come over to detach. You're going to detach your score lines and just move them out of the way. And you're going to hit contour. Hide all contours. Bring your score lines back. Align center. And attach. And now you're ready for the cross box, and you'll have your panels in there. And once you do that, it'll look something like this. You'll have all your little panels there. And all your little pieces. This is in that file. This is in the file. This is, and this is. Well, this isn't. This is the piece you'll upload from SVG Cuts. And if you go to SVG Cuts and you get that file, if you look in the extras on that file, there is one that is set up that has all the SVGs separated, is what it's called. And that way you can upload that, trash all the other pieces and keep this. And keep in mind there are two little circled dots in there. Trash those two, or don't. Just don't cut them when you go over. They're gray or black, and you'll see them in your layers panel. Make sure that you take your score lines and you change it from cut, because it's going to be showing on cut just like this when you import it. This is what it's going to look like, and they're not going to be attached. You'll want to come to your layers panel, click on it, change it to score, select the score lines and your crucifix piece and attach. I've already done mine. And then this piece will be ready to go, except for sizing. But you want to do that before. Hi, Louise. And hi to everybody. I did say hi to everybody. We just had no sound. So once you've done that, you'll want to change this piece to 6.007 by 5952 if you're using that piece. And everything else should come into size. I've already sized all of that. This is the only piece that you're going to upload from SVG Cuts, and you will need to resize it. But you need to attach everything first. Okay, so once you have all that, you're going to cut it. I cut this piece, which is the base, from craft board, from Cricut. I cut this piece from the cream colored, all these yellow pieces are cream colored from Cricut. The white piece here that I cut that out of Stampin' Up! Whisper White. This I cut from the Cricut craft board in the purple foil. I believe that's in the Bejeweled pack. And then this one I cut from the Jewel Tones pack of the craft board, which is, no, it wasn't the gold, it was the coppery color, the copper color in there from Cricut, the craft board as well. Of course, you can use whatever you want. Then on the card, again, the cross I cut from the gold craft board. All the white is the Whisper White from Stampin' Up! And I did my print and cuts on that as well. The brown is from for this piece was from Cricut's tone packages, and then the yellows again was the cream color from Cricut. So once you have everything cut and ready, and you can, I did this in two ways, guys. I did it in purple and I did it in gold, and I really, really, really like the purple. So you may want to change your pen color. Of course, that's just inserting a pen. You don't even have to change it in the file. So once you've done that, then you've got everything cut. We're ready to assemble. But I wanted to go over doing shaped edge cards and how you guys can do that. Everybody can still hear me, right? I hope nobody said anything, so I just want to make sure you guys are still with me. Early Saturday morning. Has anybody done a shaped edge card in Design Space before? Actually made one, or you just looked for one or got one from outside sources? Let's see. Okay, there everybody is. Yay. Okay. You're enthralled. Enthralled or asleep. I'm not sure which one I am. But you're going to get your card base and you're going to set it up. So you're going to select it, and I like to change my base to white just so that I can see the edges and my score lines and stuff on it easier, but whatever color works for you. You've done a few, Jamie. Yes, Jamie, you helped me out with the other file doing the panels and stuff. They're pretty easy to do when you're only doing one panel and one layer. They can get tricky when you get into several panels like we had on the cross card there. And I'll teach you guys that later because you have to do some finagling to make sure everything lines up good. But we're just going to start with the base, and I'm just going to start with my standard, unlock it, and make it 10 inches wide by 7 inches tall. And if you want to rotate it and do it the other way around, you can do that too. I am not going to put my score line attached yet, but I am going to insert it just to give me a guide. And I'm going to change it to 7 inches. I'm going to select all and align to the center. And this gives me a good base. I'm going to get another square, and I'm going to make it 4.75 by 6.75. And that is my panel size because I like to go 1/4 inch in. And I'm going to just kind of eyeball that and make sure that it's lined up. And you can select all and align vertically. And that looks, I don't even think it moved. But now we have a panel to work with. But what kind of shape can we put on this? You can do any kind of shape. And I'm going to show you. This is how Jamie and I did the wavy edge. And you're just going to go in and get an image. Find an image that you like. And I'm just going to type in flourish. See what pops up here. I'm going to close these other tabs, guys. I don't think that we need them. I just want to point out that I added this to the file. You're not going to see it when we put the card together because I cut mine before I added that. But it's there for you. I'm going to just close these up. We can open them again if we need to. Okay, so now we have flourishes. And so you need to pick something that's going to give you a good edge. This one will give you a good edge. You'll have to close that gap there probably, but you might be able to get away. We'll just try that one. The one that I used for the wavy edge, and I never can remember the name. This one will do a good edge too. Just a little. Just anything that you like the shape of. You're only going to be looking at the shape that you want in here. Because you can do all sorts of things. You can do just about any shaped edge that you want. This will do an edge right here. Not thrilled with that one. Let's see. The bigger, that one would work, I think. It's got a good wave on it, but it's got 2 waves. If I can figure out where my actual, we'll just use this one. We'll just use a semicolon. That'll work. I've got a couple of shapes here. Let's put those in. And what you're going to do is stretch those till you see the shape that you want your outer edge to be. You're just going to shape it in there. And that, you want to leave room for your decor and things like that. I'm just going to get rid of this. We're going to use a difficult one. Okay, and you see this shape. The first thing I do is if it's got any knockouts in it is I come in and select it, go to contour, and hide those contours. Make that solid, okay? And this is the shape of our, get that up there at the top. I don't want that there. Pull it down some. There we go. Stretch that out. I don't want this to touch the top of the card or the bottom, okay? Yeah, you don't need edge dies. You can do just, like I said, if you find a shape you like, you can create it. And this is going to make like a funky edge, but this can be a really fun card. So I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm just going to select this one. And I'm going to align, and I'm going to center everything vertically, and I may have to bump that up just slightly. Get those two. I just don't want to cut out of the top of that card there yet. Not quite yet. So I'm just going to select one and my panel, and I'm going to slice. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that. That's my other one. I don't want to move that one in the back yet. And I'm going to pull this panel, and I know I've got these weird hanger off pieces. We're going to fix that with contour, hide all the contours, and now we have our shaped edge card. Okay? And I'll probably flip this the other way too. So now this one, before I slice it, and remember I haven't attached my score line, so I don't have to worry with that. Before I attach it, I am going to hit my arrow key, and I am going to bump that over. And I believe it bumps at 1/4 inch, but I'm going to bump it twice. No, just once. I want to make sure that my edge of my card is not showing there. And again, I am going to take those two pieces and I'm going to slice. And then I'm just going to get rid of all this trash. And again, I've got those funky pieces, and you can save those and cut them out of the other accent color so that they're on there if you want, just however you want to do it. But I'm just going to select it, contour those out. And now I'm going to arrange and move it to the back. And if I put my panel in there, you can see I have that bump out edge, and they match up perfectly. They line up just like they're supposed to. And now you can decide if you want to keep grabbing just one instead of both. Grab them both and let's flip them vertically. And I kind of like that. I really like that edge that way. So I'm just going to get my score line and my card, going to align. Oops, I must have missed my score line. Align, center, and attach it. I can get rid of all the trash. And then I can start bringing in my design elements. And that's how you do shaped edge cards, guys. Really easy, really simple. All you have to do is find the shape that you want, whatever you want to change the side of your card to. You could do this, and when it's closed, you could do your Nuvo drops and do another layer so that when the card is opened up, you have those showing on the edge. Now, when you do this, make sure that you flip this. You only have to flip your base horizontally so that it is opposite. That way if you cut from pattern paper, your pattern is up and it goes on that back side and it fits with the right pattern. But you need it flipped this way if you're going to write a sentiment inside. Okay? So this is the way that it needs to be. Did everybody get that? Did you? I just wanted to make sure that we covered this part because I know a lot of you guys go and watch another video on Saturday mornings. So I wanted to cover this to give you time to get over there because you can always watch the playback on us assembling a project. But I wanted to make sure that you got the tutorial in since we got started late. Does anybody have any questions? And like Jamie said, it does get super tricky with more than one panel because you're going to have to layer up all those panels and you're going to have to scoot in all of your edges. And with the, I'll save this just in case somebody wants this. I probably won't use it. I might use it. I might use it for something. I would have to redo it though because I don't like that point there. I might cut those off. It gets trickier when you do more panels because you have like the cross one. It was even tricky for me because not only did I have to bump them in, I had to bump them in vertically and horizontally, not just vertically because of the shape of this card. So some of your shaped edge can get tricky on you. It can get really tricky. So just make sure that when you're slicing and everything that you're slicing away especially on 2 of these. And what I did is I actually welded my shapes together, but not until I had lined them up for that panel, and then did it for the next one. Yeah, you can do any edges. You can do hearts. I've seen people do the heart knockouts with the cutouts with the hearts on them. Well, I did one like that too. And then you can do solid hearts behind it and all sorts of things. Circles. There's been a circle card that was done this way. I think I did a square one somewhere where it stair-stepped and had the square knockouts. It's been a while. I have to look that one up. I may have even done that on the old expressions, and it's not even in craft room or anything. So, but anyway, that's how you do these. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll help walk you through it. So let's go over to the project camera and start putting them together. Okay. And guys, I did use some Nuvo drops on the top of this ribbon just so that it stayed in place. But I just used the clear on those. And you can change the sentiments out, whatever you want. And that's what I was talking about with Nuvo drops. I've got them on the outside, made sure some of my writing came out on the outside. So just play around with it and put your panel over it to know that, or what I actually did was duplicated this card and flipped it the other way, so that I could overlay it on a 5x7 panel and make sure that I had my writing where I wanted it. Then I got rid of the 5x7 panel and attached it to the inside of the card. So you can do that. It's easy. I do want to tell you guys the envelope is for completely flat card. Okay. I did pop dot this one up, so I forgot that when I did cut the envelope, but I just went ahead and used it for photography purposes. I'm going to have to make a dimensional, and that wavy edge dimensional that's in the design panel from that floral card that I did, the last blue one, it will work. Just resize it to make sure that your 5x7 card is going to fit in it. You won't have to stretch it much, maybe, I don't know, a quarter inch or either 0.375. Just stretch it out so that the 5x7 square fits in the score lines. And then the box. And also when you cut, don't get rid of your cross. I did put that back there because when I glued this cross down, you could see, because the 80-pound cardstock's a little thinner, and I wanted to cover that where the glue was at, and that helped hide it. So let's get started. It's magic. I cut it all already. Let's start with the box, because I know some of you are going to have to go. And the card is pretty self-explanatory, and envelopes, you're just going to fold and score those. But your box, of course, you're going to fold. And we've made many of these, the personalized boxes, so you guys should be familiar with the assembly on these. But we do have some new patrons, so you're just going to fold everything in. And if you want to use your bone folder, you can. I don't use it on the craft board. And just for time purposes, guys, you want to glue these. You do not want to use a tape runner. It will pop apart on you. I'm going to go back and glue mine. I'm just doing this for time. And once you've glued, you'll want to pop those in. Keeping it square. You want to make sure that you keep your box square. Oops. Helps if you turn that around the right way. And that's the base. All there is to it. The lid, exactly the same, but I'm just going to fold it up real quick. And on the 80-pound, I will use the bone folder on that, just to get the crisp edge. And everything is just folded away from you instead of towards you on the lid. I'm not going to use it on the corners. Don't need to, they're going to go inside. And again, same thing. You're just going to glue, not tape run, all 4 edges or 4 corners to the inside. And then you have your lid. So now we have something that we can work off of. And just putting it together first helps me line up and keep things square. You're going to have a piece like this in there, you don't need it. You're going to have a piece like that, you don't need it. The first thing that I did was line up, and I think that this box is slightly out of square. If you want to square yours up, it won't hurt anything. So just going to make sure that I've got the panel on right, and then you're going to glue that on as well. And again, glue, not tape run. So your white panel, and like I said, that's Whisper White from Stampin' Up. And there might be a top and bottom to that too. I don't know, it should be center, but it's probably just me. You're going to line that up and place that on the top. That's creating the frame. Then you'll want to set these pieces to the side for now. The cross, the dimensional cross. And you can get the instructions from Mary over at SVG Cuts as well. You're going to fold this both ways. There's a score line at the top. Those get folded back and then folded back up. And you can do it at the same time, or you can fold it one way and then come back and fold it the other. And you're going to do that on every one of those tabs. All the way around. All the outside scores. Fold up, fold away, and then fold towards you. And then we have one here at the base of the cross too. Fold it away. And you can do it in either way, as long as you fold it both ways. Then once you have all of those done, you want to come into the inside tabs, and you're going to fold those away from you. And then at each section, there's also a line. You're going to fold those both ways. Fold to the back in each line both ways. Oops, I folded that one the wrong way. Maybe it won't show. Fold it away. And right here in these corners, guys, make sure that you get it all the way to the edge folded. It will matter. And they're a little tight right there in those corners because we did make it a little bit smaller for our box than what she had it on the bag. I think it was smaller. but you can do it. You can use your bone folders or whatever you have, your spatulas, to help you fold those small tabs if you need to. And it will get kind of floppy by the time you get to the end, but it'll work out. And then it's very, very easy from there, and this I am going to have to use glue for. And you're just going to put glue. I'm going to start with these. On this side, you can start anywhere. I'm just going to put glue on there so it has time to start tacking up. Makes it go a little quicker. And you're just going to line it up and keep it square. So I'm just gluing that tab to the back, and you can lay it down and press down on it. Just make sure that you keep it square so that you can push it in if you need to. Nice square. See if I can get it focused in on that for you. And that's what you're going to do all the way around. You're just going to work all those tabs on. To me, this one right here was the trickiest because it's so tiny. And I'm using art glitter glue. It'll grab pretty quick, but it seems like it takes a little bit longer because this is the smooth Whisper White from Stampin' Up, so it has no texture to grab like the Cricut does. So it takes a few minutes to grab. I should say seconds, not minutes. Feels like minutes sometimes. Okay, and once you have that one, then I come over to this side and do the same thing. And just start working that one in. Hey, Debbie. Yeah, it looks like a lot of pieces, Sheila, but really it isn't. You saw how quick the box went together. This piece takes longer to do than anything. And it's just because of the small tabs. But it's not really a difficult piece to put together. You want to make sure that that lines up and it's pushed in correctly. You want that corner to meet that fold. Flip it over and give it a rub if it wants to be difficult. That's what's going to keep it square. You have to make sure that they all meet up and you don't have any gaps. And then you want to, I forgot to fold these tabs, didn't I? These go away from you as well. I don't bend that. Can't find my, there it is. I found this one harder to do than the small ones. I put a little wrinkle in mine. Be careful, guys. Get that point right there down as far as you can. And then you're going to bring this one in, and it should meet up there at the top. See if I can get this one to fold for me. There we go. Well, I think I just stabbed myself with my pen. I did. Can't get it in there. It keeps slipping. I didn't draw much blood, just a little. I'm just going to press those down from the inside. Double check to make sure that they're still lined up. And now you have it. You're just going to come and bend all your outside tabs up, because they're going to stiffen up on you after putting those together. And that's going to give you your 3D piece. This piece goes over, and I did size these grouped. However, they didn't, to me, line up well. You can see gaps. So I made a second panel that's not in the file to fit over these. But that's okay, because we got a fix. You're just going to put your glue on all of these flat tabs. All the way around. On the top, that is correct. And then you're going to place this piece over that. And just kind of line it up and keep it as square as you can. Let me just hold it. Get it started sticking. And we can just hold it down. Did I miss a tab? I did. Okay, and once you have those sticking down, I don't know why that one doesn't want to stick. I know it looks kind of crazy right now. Then you're going to glue on the back. And just in case, if you have any tabs that are sticking out, guys, I would trim them off just in case. Like I said, I sized it together, but I couldn't get it to size up the way that I wanted. Then you're just going to place it on your box lid. And don't put too much pressure. You don't want to bend your box. Just hold it. And just remember, mine is taped, and I've got to pull those off and retape them. And then you're just going to put your panel over it. That's going to help hold it flat too. But it takes a minute. You're going to have to hold it in place till everything sticks, and keep pressing in your corners like so. And then you're going to glue this to the top like so. I'm not going to do mine till I get mine pressed in from the bottom. I've got mine a little off. Make sure yours is laying flat like this one. That's the way you want it right there. Nice and flat. And then you can add Nuvo drops. On that one I used Violet Galaxy Nuvo drops in the corners on my other one. So I'm not going to put you guys through doing all of that. You've seen me do that before. But you're just going to squeeze them out, put them on, and everything is there. And that's the box. Yes, those box pieces do fold down at a slight angle. And it's a natural angle, Louise. It will just automatically fall into place when you do these. And then put this on the back side of your lid, guys. Don't forget that. No need to waste it. Because you can see like the edges of the where it's glued. Your paper may warp a little, and this will hide that. So, because you do need a good amount of glue to glue that piece down to keep it flat. So, next we have the card. In the envelope, you're just going to fold. Again, this is for a completely flat card. If you're using pop dots, go and get that dimensional envelope, the wavy edge. You can change the edge of it, just weld a piece in if you want it to be flat, or change the shape. Just weld it on to make it straight across and cut it into any shape that you want. But I'm not going to make you guys, I do have to glue these, and I'm not going to make you guys watch the glue. But you're just going to fold your envelope. Everything comes up, okay? You'll want to put glue on the edge of these two sides, and then on the edge right here. You don't want to get out to the inside. Make sure you don't go too high up with your glue. Make sure that you're getting it in this place. And that's all the gluing there is to your envelope. And then we have the card. Just like any other, folded on the score line. Use your bone folder and get a good crisp line. And then your panels. I have a glue clog, it looks like, already. Make sure you get your corners on these guys because you don't want those to lift up on you. Just a little bit of glue. And then you're going to make sure you have that lined up straight. Press it down. And then same with the next panel. And I do mine based on that piece right there. But you can do it either way you want. And I got this one a little bit off. Come here. There we go. Better. And then I pop dotted this. In 5 spots. You could probably put another one right there if you want to. This piece, you can see that it's cut like this. This is off of another one out of Design Space. And I welded a piece in there because I didn't like the way that it was fitting. So, if I can find my brown cardstock that I used, I'm just going to have to cut a small scrap to put in there. Nothing major. Just going to put a dab of glue on each side. You guys won't have this step because I already fixed it for you guys. I'm just going to glue those on to this piece. Then I'm just going to put some glue on the top here where I fixed it and slide it over and glue it in place to the back, just like so. No one will ever know except us. I know. I have my other pen in my other bottle, but it's across the room. I have like a couple of workstations because I try to keep this as clear as possible for you guys. So once you have that piece done, the flowers, and I did break one of my flowers, but it'll be okay. I'm going to put it back on. One of these I did cut off the stem for the bottom down here. And I just pop dotted these as well in 3 places. And I have not glued that down yet. There's a reason. We have to get these on first. Come here. Static electricity. So what I did was just kind of laid my cross where I wanted it and then stuck that stem just like so. And then I started sticking down my flower. And I like that. And you can make your stem come up on the top if you want. It's totally up to you. I didn't do that. And that looks about right to me. And then on the second one as well. This card goes together really pretty quick. And don't forget, guys, next week is Pinteresting projects. So if you have a Pinterest inspired project you want to do, make sure that you go to that secret board. I did a post on Patreon for you guys. And you can do on that secret board, you can go in and post your project that you want to see, and we will do those. We'll do our version of them. So decide about where you want your cross, and then you're going to peel all of your dots. I could probably use my pick on this, but well, whatever works. Shake off all the little pieces. Then you're going to come in and lay that in where you want it. And now comes the ribbon. And I just cut off a length. Doesn't matter how long because you're going to trim it up. I guess about 12 inches is what I got. And then I used, where did they go? The Stampin' Up! Dots, because they're flat and they're easy. But to me, they just don't hold well. And all I did was between these two pop dots is I just fished my ribbon under. You may need to get your tweezers out for this. And I just pulled it down to about where I wanted it to fall. And then I put one of these dots. Get it on the back of my ribbon there. If I can get it to come to me here. There it is. So just place it about where you want it to fall. And then just tack it down. Then on this side, it has to go behind. So you have to fish it through between these two pop dots. Just pull it through. And I left mine up just slightly. It was just like the natural fall of it. And then it has to come over the top here. But you don't want to glue it down to this part of the card, because if you do, they're not going to be able to open their card. Okay? So the only place to tack it is here. Right here on the cross, or either on the edge. And I did that one on the cross, and then I thought, oops, I put that on there wrong. It was supposed to go under my flowers and over the top of the cross. Don't pay attention to me, guys. I'm not awake yet. It'll work fine, just like that. Let me fish it through. There we go. There we go. That's better. I think that's the way I did it. Yep, that is. Over. So let's get a dot, and I think I'm going to try it on the cardstock this time and not on the cross. But again, there's a fix. I just put a couple of Nuvo drops. I mean, they can represent whatever you want them to represent, the nails or whatever. Any interpretation that you want. Just get the covering off of that. There we go. And I'm just going to find where it lays that natural curl and press it down. I kind of like the Nuvo drops because it kind of helped to hold it, but whatever works for you. And then you're just going to trim your ribbons. Let's go this way. Oh, that's fine. I went the opposite way on the other one. That's okay. I can flip it around. It's not glued in stone yet. And that's all there is to it. You're done. I'm going to flip my ribbon because I do like it better with the tails going this way. And I've already cut it off, so I'm just going to flip it around. Does anybody have any questions? You didn't have the right ribbon? Hey, Kathy, that interpretation that you did, Kathy did a mock-up. I hope she posts it because it was gorgeous. It was so pretty. I showed it to, I think, Sue and Jamie in Messenger. I was like, look how she did this. It's beautiful. So there's no rhyme or reason, Kathy. Any way you want, you can use any ribbon. I even have a skinny ribbon here. I just didn't use it because the wide one worked out. And that one was, I got this at the Dollar Tree, guys. It's 5/8. So whatever you have on hand. You can use blue, I guess, or whatever color that you want. The purple was a symbol for me, so that's why I used purple. Yeah, you could use anything here, Sue, for that, just to make sure that that ribbon stays in place. Because like I said, you don't want to stick it to this part down here because of that. And make sure, guys, that you open it up before you do your Nuvo drops, if you do any on this, so that they have time to dry and your ribbons don't get in the way. But that's all there is to it. And I did use them on the flowers. I used sugared almond on the flowers. It's like so. I'm just going to do this one to show you guys. And I just, no rhyme or reason, just put some in there to cover the yellows. And I did that on all of them, as you can see. And this one was the clear, has no color. I think they call it morning dew. I can't see this morning. Morning dew, yeah. It dries clear. And then I used the, on the box I used Violet Galaxy. And on this card, I would probably, in retrospect, use the same Violet Galaxy on there. But my first choice was this one because it matched the ribbon pretty well. So you can use this one too if you have it. Lilac Whisper. And it's a glittery instead of a pearl. But I think I preferred the pearl one. Hey, that was timed perfectly, guys. 1 hour. You learned how to do shape cards, put together the box, put together the card. All of it in 1 hour. We're 17 minutes late. So I'm good, but I was 20 minutes late on my sound because of OBS updates. Anyway, that concludes this Patreon video. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Thank you for your support. Liquid pearls are perfect, Kathy. Sometimes I like the white liquid pearls better than I do the Nuvo pearl color. So I have that one too. I like it. So you can use that as well. I appreciate you guys joining me. Next week is Pinteresting projects, and it is at noon Eastern time. This video here is the makeup from last week because of the funeral I had. Yeah, they're the same thing, Jamie, basically. The only difference I know of is Ranger. They're okay to me, but I don't know, they feel rough like you put glue and then sprinkled glitter, where the Nuvo drops don't do that. And they tend to flatten down a little. So, but these are the, this is the white opal liquid that you're talking about. That's the one I use. Yeah, I love it too. I think it turned out really, really, really nice. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go so you can go and watch Melody and y'all have fun. And I will see you next week at noon, and we are going to cover how to use pattern fill in Escal probably, and I don't know what project we're going to do. So, but we're going to do a little bit of Escal, a little bit of Design Space, and do a project. Whatever the Pinteresting project that comes in, that's what we're going to do. So you guys send me your Pinterest photo of what you want to replicate, and we will do it. Please, yes, thank you. Please give me a thumbs up and a like. I appreciate you guys. Thank you all. I'll see you next week.